Capital News tonight. Prime Minister Majaliwa instructs TANESCO to ensure Julius Nyerere Power Project is completed on schedule. Members of Parliament want the government to come up with strategies which will address Tanzania Football Federation says the Premier League will only return when the government gives the green light. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's get started with the national news. Prime Minister Majaliwa has inspected the construction of the Julius Nyerere Hydro Power Project, which is expected to generate 2,115 megawatts of electricity, and directed the Executive Director of Tanzania Electric Supply Company TANESCO, Dr. Tito Mwinuka, to oversee the project so that it is completed on schedule. The hydro power project at Rufiji River is being constructed by Arab Construction Company and El Swedi Electric, both from Egypt.
Contractors and subcontractors should do their job well. All that we need to do is to monitor the exercise and make sure that those who supervise the project are always there so that the project can run smoothly. I'm pleased with information that we are still on the right track. Contractors are doing an excellent job, and the government is also playing its role well. I also got the opportunity to witness the project and activities done. Everything is running smooth from when the project began in June last year to date. Luckily, TANESCO has also been close with them to ensure that this project is completed on time.
Members of Parliament have called on the Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries to come up with strategies that will address the problem of illegal fishing gear instead of seizing the gear when there is no alternative. They made the call in Parliament after the Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries tabled its budget for the 2020-2021 financial year.
This country used to import fish from Japan and Seychelles when we have enough lakes and the sea. But today there is big fish. And rather than finding fishermen, leaving them poor, they should provide them with fish equipment so they can replace illegal nets and boats with legal ones. Honorable President has asked the people to keep working hard, yet people on this island are being asked to leave because of the virus or some security concerns. I'm asking if this matter can be clarified.
And drivers of buses commuting between Shinyanga, Kahama, Kishapu, Maganzo and Maswa have entered into the second day of a strike opposing a directive to move to Manyoni bus terminal in Shinyanga. The situation has inconvenienced passengers who called on the authorities to intervene on this crisis.
We've been asked to leave because this is a high-risk area. We don't understand how this could be the case when we've always lived here for more than 25 years. We now live like refugees. We've received a letter which is not dated. We don't understand what has been written. We are being mistreated. You find that in just one day, you could end up with more than 8 fines. And if you ask why, then more is added. We are suffering so much. We are supposed to have been on our way, but we are stranded. If you need to relocate people, then give them enough notice. They have rights.
The Minister of Industry and Trade, Innocent Bashengwa, has assured Tanzanians of the availability of sugar in the country after receiving a consignment of sugar from Uganda at South Mwanza port. He said the government is also taking measures to increase sugar production.
People should not fear sugar scarcity. This has been contributed by our factories failing to produce the commodity due to heavy rains and renovations. Other factories There shall be no scarcity of sugar anymore because we have already imported enough amount of sugar. We're busy offloading the cargo, and all responsible leaders are monitoring the exercise to make sure that once the commodities are offloaded, they are put on trucks to be transported to all regions. Sugar is enough. There shall be no increase on prices of this commodity.
Bonite Bottlers Company in Moshi, Kilimanjaro region has started to produce 6, 12 and 18.9 litre bottles of Kilimanjaro drinking water. The head of sales and marketing from Bonite Bottlers, Christopher Lloydrick, said the water is now available for consumers at home, office and various institutions.
We started to produce Kilimanjaro drinking water in large quantities in 6, 12 and 18.9 liters. We've invested in modern plants, as you can see, to produce water in large quantities so as to enable our customers to drink water of the highest quality for home, office and in various institutions. Why is our drinking water of the highest quality? This is because its source is rare in Africa and produced at the highest standard. For our Dar es Salaam customers, we supply to them using our own vehicles, but also through wholesalers. But we recognize that some of our customers are purchasing online to avoid unnecessary movement. We are delighted to inform you that you can purchase Kilimanjaro water of whichever quantity from home online through Shop Online Tanzania and Pick Delivery.
The police force in Dodoma seized the 6 cars alleged to have been stolen, which were found parked at a house in the city.
We're certain that this vehicle was stolen. Its appearance doesn't match parts description. It was brought from there to Dodoma for repair. Anyone who sees anything suspicious will be rewarded. There is another suspect in custody, Shaban Nyamuhanga Msangala, aged 32, who posed as a national security agent, using threats and extorting money from his victims.
And the government in Zanzibar has warned politicians vying for presidency, representatives, parliament and councillorship to stop campaigns as the Anti-Corruption Authority has started to see signs of illegal campaigning in various constituencies.
The government had employed a total of 16,675 staff in various public institutions. The number of those in employment has increased from 31,762 in 2011 to 39,037 in 2020. In Service Commission, just in government alone in 2015-2020, a total of 10,123 in various government sectors.
That's all for national news. International news is next. In international news, 8 truck drivers from Tanzania have been denied entry into Kenya after they tested positive for COVID-19 at Namanga borders. Health Cabinet Administrative Secretary Mwangangi said that the border areas have become among key areas of focus, and in particular Namanga town that borders Kenya and Tanzania. This comes as Kenya confirms 21 new coronavirus cases, bringing the tally to 758.
Borders are the ones that have become the latest high-risk areas in the transmission of the disease. And the borders are now our key area of focus. On Tuesday, we informed you of a technical team that was sent to Namanga border on a fact-finding mission. The objective of this team was to assess the situation and to recommend interventions, particularly for truck drivers who are now becoming another weak link in the fight against the virus. In our daily updates, we have informed you of the cases that continue to come from our border points, particularly Namanga. Yesterday, as you're all aware, we recorded 47 new cases, 22 of them being Kenyans, while the remaining 23 were Tanzanian nationals. At another border point of Isebania, Migori County, we continue to witness emerging positive cases. The government is closely monitoring these developments and putting in place intervention.
The Executive Council of Bishops in Burundi has called on candidates in the elections to be held on May the 20th of this year to ensure they give priority to unity and love in their campaigns, which are expected to end on the 17th of this month.
They should respect human rights, something that is important to all of us. If that will be revoked, then people do seek for other alternatives that might end up in chaos and even cause war. Responsible authorities should take precautions and play their part well in safeguarding peace and stability in the country. Our call to all participants of this election is to always remember that victory is for one person or party. Whoever will lose should accept the results.
And the southern African country of Lesotho has recorded its first coronavirus case, becoming the last nation on the continent to confirm an infection. The Ministry of Health in the country said it conducted 81 coronavirus tests on travelers from neighboring South Africa and Saudi Arabia, of which one was positive, while they wait for results of 301 other tests. The infected patient is a Lesotho national studying in Saudi Arabia. And that's where we leave off with international news. Business news follows after this short break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production, infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and now the business news. The Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Minerals, Professor Simon Msanjila, has directed the establishment of a salt market in order to help small salt producers in Uvinza District, Kigoma region, who do not have the capacity to access bigger markets.
We think that Regional Minerals Officer gave the directive last year that we must establish markets that will allow traders to have one-stop center purchasing salt to small producers.
And yam and potato traders in Dar es Salaam have said despite lowering prices, business has not improved as many of their customers who come from neighboring countries such as Comoros have stopped buying at various markets in Dar es Salaam due to the coronavirus pandemic.
Coronavirus have contributed much in this situation because previously we have customers from Zanzibar and Comoro. Things are different this year. Most of our customers right now are day-to-day consumers. From my experience, in a day we are selling between 10 to 15 sacks, while one might be having 100 sacks of yams. Honestly, we earn very little, which all of it is used again in clearing running costs of this business.
Colombo District Commissioner in Katavi Region, Juliet Binyura, has banned fishermen along the shores of Lake Tanganyika from selling fish to neighboring countries and instead instructed them to take their fish to smaller markets while they wait for water levels of the lake to decrease after it flooded the central fish market at Kasanga town.
Our market is flooded. Please do not export fish. I believe that in the coming few weeks, all the water will be drained out of the market.
That's all for business news. Sports is next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Marquinhos, he did lose to Lent.
And now let's take a look at the sports news. Tanzania Football Federation says the Premier League will only return when the government says it should, with discussions on how it will resume underway. Here's more.
Speaking on the TFF YouTube channel, the General Secretary of TFF, Wilfred Kidau, said they have been having meetings regarding the return of the league, but still the authority of resuming only lies on the government. Kidau said the president's statement that sports could return soon was received well within the federation, and they have been discussing how to prepare for the situation in case the league resumes.
And Yanga Sports Club's pursuit of Simba Sports Club star Deo Kanda looks to have ended, with reports indicating Yanga had approached Kanda with the aim of signing him on a longer contract. Here are more details.
From TP Mazembe on a one-year-long loan which was expected to finish at the end of the currently suspended season. Reports further indicated Yanga tried to influence the forward to sign for them through the captain Papi Shishimbi, but their underhand dealings came to an abrupt end when Simba put a 2-year deal for Kanda on the table. Kanda, after some talks with Simba Chief Executive Officer Senzo Mazingisa, which ended on Friday, is expected to put pen to paper on the new contract.
Carlos Sainz will race for Ferrari 2021 as the replacement for the 4-time world champion Sebastian Vettel. Let's find out more on this.
McLaren will be filled by Renault's Daniel Ricciardo. The 25-year-old Spaniard has been at McLaren since last year, and Ferrari will be his 4th team after his 2015 debut with the initially based Toro Rosso. He will drive alongside Charles Leclerc. Ricciardo has signed a multi-year agreement with McLaren and will leave Renault to race alongside Lando Norris. Ricciardo tweeted, "I'm so grateful for my time with Renault and the way I was accepted into the team. But we aren't done, and I can't wait to get back on the grid this year. My next chapter isn't here yet, so let's finish this one strong. Merci."
Glenn Murray believes that Premier League football is being rushed back too soon, with the Brighton striker feeling the fact that England is the worst hit country for COVID-19 in Europe has been overlooked by some. Here are more details.
Premier League invited club captains and managers to share their thoughts on a return to action during conference calls on Wednesday. Murray was on the call about how and when training will step up before a prospective mid-June return, a timescale he believes is a little rushed. Murray said the in-depth call was mainly focused on the first phase of returning to training grounds on a physical distancing level. The 36-year-old believes most players are pretty happy with phase 1, but given the variety of individual situations, believes there is little bit of reluctance in certain pockets of players to move to phase 2.
Juventus and Chelsea have begun negotiations about a possible summer swap deal involving Miralem Pjanic and Jorginho. Here is the story.
The Juventus manager Maurizio Sarri would like to sign the Italy international, with whom he worked at Napoli and Chelsea, and is ready to sacrifice Pjanic to do so. The Serie A side have also had discussions about the Bosnian joining Barcelona or Paris Saint-Germain. The 30-year-old Pjanic, who has been at Juve since 2016, could potentially have ended up at Barca in a swap involving Artur, but the Brazilian decided to stay in Catalonia. The PSG sporting director Leonardo is a huge admirer of Pjanic.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who works to bring you this bulletin, my name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and good night. Chats, an interactive talk show on various trending issues, live on our social media platforms, on YouTube, Capital TV, on Facebook, Capital Television Tanzania, on Sunday at 9:15 p.m. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification.
We promised you an unforgettable experience, but overnight we were not able to deliver on that promise because our world is not the same. What if me and you accept that we may not always have full control of situations, but with faith we can make the best out of it and that everything will be better? In spite of life's current adversities, we have learned to appreciate and value simpler things: life, family, friendship, and looking out for each other. I am here, but it is not the same without you. In this time of uncertainty, let's take one step at a time. We shall rise up again, together. And when we finally see the light, Tanzania will be ready to receive you and show you its unforgettable wonders. Until then, stay healthy and safe as well. Tanzania, unforgettable.
Wizara ya Afya, Maendeleo ya Jamii, Jinsia, Wazee na Watoto inatoa tahadhari kwa umma kuhusu mlipuko wa ugonjwa wa homa ya mafua makali unaosababishwa na kirusi cha korona. Ugonjwa huu huambukizwa kwa njia ya hewa pale mtu mwenye virusi hivyo anapokohoa au kupiga chafya. Njia nyingine ya maambukizi ni kwa kugusana au kugusa maji ya mwili au kamasi kutoka kwa mtu mwenye ugonjwa huo. Dalili za ugonjwa huu ni pamoja na homa na mafua makali, kuumwa kichwa, mwili kuchoka, kikohozi, maumivu ya misuli, vidonda vya koo, kubanwa mbavu na kupumua kwa shida. Uonapo mtu mwenye dalili za homa kali ya mapafu,
piga simu namba 199 bila malipo.
Kinga ni bora kuliko tiba.
Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na Wizara ya Afya, Maendeleo ya Jamii, Jinsia, Wazee na Watoto kupitia kitengo cha elimu ya afya kwa umma.
Hello, this is Captured. Thank you so much for having joined us today. My name is Nancy Masengo. I'm not alone. With me is Sebastian Kodoa, and of course, a happy Mother's Day to all mothers out there. Well, as you know, this week we've had some really good news that coronavirus has arrived from Madagascar, Seba.
What do we call it? Coronavirus? Tuseme medicine au tuseme
ni dawa, lakini from government sources wanasema kwamba it's supposed to be for research purposes. Ni kwa ajili ya utafiti na sio kwa ajili ya kutibu wagonjwa as of now. Kwa hiyo nadhani wao pia inabidi waipate ile medicine, wapeleke mahabara waone kweli how does it actually work.
Yeah. That's right.
Kwako wewe unadhani kwamba there is some hope? Sababu as we are currently, kwa kweli ulimwengu we are at a standstill. Amna zaidi ya sanitizer, kunawa mikono na nini. Unadhani hii coming from Madagascar itatusaidia sisi wa Tanzania kwa namna moja au nyingine?
Yeah, kama itafanya kazi itaweza kutusaidia. Unajua the problem is ni kama unajua kuna siku moja nilikuwa nasikiza redio kwenye kipindi cha michezo na mtangazaji mmoja ambaye ni mtangazaji mkubwa tu, mchambuzi mkubwa tu, akasema ligi mpaka mwezi wa 5, labda wa 5 au wa 6, ziko siku nyingi kidogo, kwa mwezi wa 3 pale ndio corona imechangamka. Akasema ligi ya Uingereza na ligi zingine kubwa by mwezi wa 5 hivi wa 6 lazima zitakuwa zimesharudi. Yani lazima, yani vyovyote vile lazima zitakuwa zimerudi. Yule mwenzake akamuuliza kwa nini? Akamwambia kwa sababu mimi namwamini sana mzungu. Umeona? Yani hayo ndo maneno kabisa aliyosema. Akasema mimi bwana
yuko vizuri.
Mimi bwana namwamini sana mzungu na uhakika kabisa kwamba tutapata hii dawa. Hii dawa itakuwa imepatikana mpaka ikifika mwezi wa 5. Dawa na chanjo vitakuwa vishapatikana na hili tatizo litakuwa limeshaondoka. Sasa hii nafikiri ni mindset ya watu wengi sana. Na tufahamu kwamba tunasahau tu kwamba hata hao wazungu tunawazungumzia asilimia kubwa sio indigenous wazungu wanaogunduaga vitu vyote au madawa yote. Kwanza kuta ni Muhindi Marekani, kuta ni Nigeria Marekani.
Wale waliokuwa wanagundua it's like centuries back.
Hata mpaka saa hizi kwenye hiyo group ya madaktari labda 10 bora au 100 bora, sina numbers kamili lakini nina uhakika sio race moja. Umeona? Lakini mara nyingi wanaweza kuwa kwenye laboratories za Marekani.
Yes, all right.
Kwa watu wengi bado yani wanakuwa na ukakasi wa kukubali kitu chochote ambacho kinatoka nje ya Marekani ama Uingereza ama Spain ama Italy, kwa sababu wanaamini kule ndo kuna highest level ya watu wenye akili na resources and whatnot. So mimi kama mimi kwa ushauri wangu na nikwambie, ndio sababu tatizo langu mimi ni kwamba watu wengi wamekuwa wanapinga, wanakosoa ile dawa iliyokuja. Wanaikosoa watu wengi sana, wanasema kwamba haijapimwa, sio haina hiki. Lakini mimi naamini asilimia kubwa ya watu ni wale ambao ndugu zao au watu wao karibu hawajaumwa. Nikwambie kitu mimi ninavyojua kwenye magonjwa, kuna watu yani ukipatwa na gonjwa fulani ambalo dawa yake haionekani hospitali, chochote utakachoambiwa ule, chochote utakachoambiwa ule, yani kuna uwezekano mkubwa ukajaribu.
You're so right.
Kwa sababu there's no alternative. Unajua mimi nikija kwako ngakwambia usifanye hiki, inabidi nikupe alternative. Kwamba this is the alternative. But if you don't have an alternative, anything you get now, you have to try it. Umeelewa? Sasa kama kitachunguzwa kwanza ndio wapewe watu wajaribu, better be positive about it before it is tried. Si ndivyo? Lakini naona watu wengi na kwenye siasa na nini pia imeingia, watu wengi wanaipinga kabla haijaanza kujaribiwa. Lakini nikwambie kwamba mtu yote anayepinga, hebu auwe afu ajaribishwe apone. Umeelewa? Si umeelewa?
Nimekuelewa.
So mimi yani my point is mimi mwenyewe sio daktari kusema kwamba ile ni sahihi au sio sahihi. Mtu mwingine anakuja anasema huko Madagascar kwenye mbona bado watu wengine wanakufa na corona kama wana dawa. Kwanza hata kule wenyewe wanasema kwenye supermarket haijajaa, sio yote. But pili, malaria haina dawa. Si inazo dawa kibao. Watu hawafi na malaria.
Watu wanakufa.
Swala la kuangalia ni kwamba just to be positive about something.
Na kitu kingine cha kuongezea hapo Seba ni kwamba hii dawa haitibu corona 100%. It's